Right, so your trading journey is going to have bumps in the road, times where you feel like quitting, times where you're overwhelmed, stressed, losing money, depressed, overwhelmed, all of these things. So this is a video talking through why you're feeling that way and what you can do about it.
Right, so here we go. I want to quit. All of these negative things: stressed, losing money, overwhelmed, lost, frustrated, depressed, probably running on into other areas of your life too. You're probably not much fun to be around. Now, I'm going to start with this. Well, two things really. Firstly, the 10% that are making money, that are successful, the one common denominator with all of them people, they haven't quit. Okay, so if you've come this far and you quit, you're obviously going to be one of them unsuccessful ones. But if you find a way to persevere through this spell, and hopefully this video will help, then obviously you stand a chance of being successful at some point. This is also key moving forward, trading like you can never redeposit into your account again. Now, if you quit your job and you were a professional full-time trader, you haven't got another income to top up your trading account. This is really such an important thing to focus on and to get your head around, because there's no money tree. You've got to protect that capital and make sure you don't go bankrupt. You couldn't do that in business. This is business, and you've got to make sure you've got capital to stay in the game. So anyway, I spoke about this the other day and gave you a bit of a tease. 90% mindset. This is what they say. Trading's all about 90% mindset, trading psychology, all of this stuff. And yes, obviously it plays a big factor. However, it's my belief that how you feel completely correlates to the way you're actually trading. If you've got a strategy that works, is going to make profit over time, if you've got the data, if you've managed your risk and your maximal drawdown properly, if you've removed decisions, if your risk per trade is tiny, are you going to feel stressed? No, not if you're doing it right. Stress comes from trading in the wrong way. That's a fact. So this graph here, stress level on a number from 1 to 10, and your confidence level in your strategy. So the confidence, belief, your risk management, the data you have, how you're trading, your belief in that trading, all of that stuff, your confidence level from 1 to 10. Yeah, your ability to execute to this strategy flawlessly and be confident in it and have the data, you're going to be over here, which means that your stress level is down here. Now, if you put your hand on heart, if you're trading subjectively, discretionally, what that means is you're just looking at a chart, you've probably paid for a Forex course, you're seeing a trend line break retest, but you've not tested that strategy on that pair over a period of time. You're literally guessing. Whether you like it or not, that won't help your ego, but you are guessing. You're just opening up a chart and going, yeah, I'm going to sell here, stop loss here, but you've not got any confidence really. You might have seen that on a course, but what data have you got? What's your win rate on that strategy on that pair? What's your average RR? How much data have you got? Are you trying to trade every pair right now over different time frames, or have you honed in your strategy on one or two pairs? We know the answer to this. If you're down here and you're currently feeling this way, you've skipped this bit out. You've skipped the testing, you've not done it, you've bought a course and you're just cracking on. You haven't got your risk management in line because you don't know what your win rate is. You are missing some key fundamental steps to be successful. We're going to talk through what you can do afterwards too. This is also going to be a factor. You've got long-term goals, hopefully, because otherwise why would you be trading? You might want to quit your job one day and be financially free, but you've got short-term greed. You're focusing on what you're going to make today, this week, maybe this month, instead of thinking, what's my 3-year plan? How can I compound my account in a slow and steady way whilst having this as my focus point? Okay, I love this because if you're a family man and you want to spend more time with your kids, trade like your kids are watching. Before you enter that revenge trade and your emotions are at play, that might help you stay on track. Definitely a lever that you need to play with in your head. So back to this, but related to two traders. Both put 5 grand into a trading account. This trader, he's got it nailed. He's done all this stuff. He's set his maximal drawdown with the losing streak that he's planning to see because he's got the data. He's done this testing, he's got the data, he's shrunk his watch list down. Let's say he's risking 1% per trade, for example, on just 2 pairs. Is planned for his losing run. Let's say he's got a 50% win rate strategy. He's probably planned for a losing streak of 10 trades on each strategy. So he's calm, rational, and is playing the long game. This person is in a good place. This person puts 5 grand into a trading account, got short-term greed. How much can I make from my 5 grand today, this week? Probably set a profit target, which does not work. over risking per trade, no real plan, affected by losses, chasing losses, stressed, poor expectations, and irrational. This one blows the 5 grand. This will have a losing streak, but absorb it and still say calm, rational. Play the long game, yeah? This is also important, staying in your own lane. You're probably getting distracted by social media bullshit, other people's trades, jumping on different bandwagons. Once you've got your strategy done, remove them. You're not going to be affected by what everyone else is doing because you'll understand and have confidence and belief in your own strategy. If you've not got that, you'll just be hopping from one thing to the next. It's also important you identify what the gap is. So what is the gap in terms of your current attitudes, behaviors, and actions? And who do you need to become? You need to be calm, patient, disciplined, rational. You're going to need to work on these limiting beliefs through either hypnosis, daily affirmations, or thinking and behaving like the person you need to become. We've got to look ahead and go, would my future self, who wants to be successful in trading, have quitted my job, is this the actions of that person or not? Really, really important. This is the expectation cycle. I talk about it a lot. If you've got short-term greed or unrealistic short-term expectations, your risk management will be shit. You'll risk losing more money than you want, which adds to stress, which adds to you chasing them losses and this vicious circle until you run out of cash. So back to your strategy. If you're stressed and overwhelmed, you've probably got too much discretion and subjectivity. Remove as many decisions as you can. For you looking at a trend line break and retest, someone else is probably seeing an inverse head and shoulders and support resistance, something different to you, and that's okay. But this is why you've not probably tested your approach for that setup with that stop loss approach on that one pair over the last year or two. You've got to get this bit. Most skip it because they're impatient and they've got short-term greed. Without data, without an understanding of your strategy and if you've actually got an edge or not, you can't plan for probability and manage your risk properly. Fact. Hopefully that helps go through why you're feeling this way. Now we need to look at what you can do about it. You've got to do this bit. You can't skip this bit. If you're a discretionary subjective trader, you're going to have to put some work in and some hours in on screen to go back through your manual back testing. However, it's my belief that that process is also flawed a little bit because there's no guarantee that you're going to make that same decision that you think you're going to make now from 3 months or a year ago, okay? Because you've got too much subjectivity and discretion in your strategy. But you do need to know, is my strategy profitable over time on this pair that I am trading or testing? Understand your data. 2 key things. What your win rate is, not because it affects your profitability, but it affects how much you need to be risking per trade so you can stay in the game and plan for your losing streak. This is the biggest fucking eureka moment. Most people see losses as an issue, that their strategy is not working and hop to the next thing. Losses happen, losing streaks happen. It's simple trading and probability. You just need to plan for that losing run, but you need the data first. Risk to reward ratio, understanding these 2 tells you if you've got an edge or not. Yeah, and if you've got a profitable edge, you then need to execute it tirelessly and motionlessly every time, but it is going to give you some confidence that you have. Without doing this, you don't know if you have. Using your win rate, you can plan for probability. I've spoke about that. Start small. See your risk management as like a volume control on a stereo. You've got to get it to a point where, let's say you've got a 5 grand account, you're planning a maximal drawdown, let's say of 20%, but within that you can plan for your maximum losing streak and your risk per trade might be something like 0.5%. That's going to really help you detach from this outcome. Once you understand your data and probability, you'll be detached from the outcome because you'll just see it as just another trade. Behave like you can't redeposit. Staying in the game, don't go bankrupt, else you're out the game. You've got to always have capital to be able to trade. And once you are disciplined in the fact that I'm not going to redeposit into this account, you'll start treating your money far more sensibly, which is massively important. Long-term goals, hop online to a compounding calculator. If you're starting with 5 grand, what does 5% compounded a month look like? The numbers are fucking massive over 3, 4 and 5 years. Most people don't understand this. They try and flip that 5 grand account in a month and lose it all. So long-term goals, set these benchmarks over time. That's what you need to start getting obsessed about. First priority, staying in the game. Said that above. and rewire your mind. So once you've done the work up here, this becomes easier. But daily affirmations: I am patient, I am calm, I understand probability, I'm a great trader. Instead of this mindset of I'm unlucky, it always happens to me, this isn't for me, I'm never going to make it work. You've got to change the internal language that you speak with. Anyway, hopefully that helps. 5 or 6 pointers there and the reasons why you're struggling, so you can combat these challenges and go again. Thanks everybody.